happy Tuesday evening or Wednesday morning, depending on where you are watching. This is a Link to the Past Randomizer League between Double Dippers and Seal W. My name is Walkix, and I am joined tonight by Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna. How are you doing, dude?
I'm doing great. Just got done watching that awesome race between Superman and Taylor and good old what's-his-face. Oh yeah, you know the one about the cake in the closet? Yeah, good guy.
You get some really, really good creative names, and that is definitely one of them. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I picked him for my fantasy team just based on the name, and it didn't quite work out, but he's going to have a chance, or they're going to have a chance, to redeem themselves. But we have a different matchup here. This is mooglecharm versus Nabs. So, Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna, what do you think about this matchup?
This one's going to be pretty fun. From information that we've gathered here, we've got two people that were part of, well, tournament from last fall. One that made it to the group stage and one that went into the Challenger Cup. Both seem to be pretty good with standard, open, and just general racing. So I think it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and we are starting already. Both doing a Link's House start and both immediately getting the flippers. So always a good thing to start with. Although it makes it a little more difficult to do Houlihan, and you're going to see mooglecharm with a different route, maybe taking those flippers immediately, checking Hobo.
That is a pretty, I gotta just be blunt, that's a ballsy play.
But to me, it shows that mooglecharm is already has the ability to okay, I got an item, I can quickly change my decision making, because I mean, you're not really expecting to get flippers at the very beginning. So now that you did, mooglecharm thought, okay, I can take these flippers and maybe check to see if there's something here, as opposed to let me just continue my normal routing, which is what Nabs ended up doing.
Ooh, and those 300 rupees are gonna pay off a bit when he gets over to Zora.
Definitely, and we didn't see anything over at the uncle either. So, early game, we're just kind of checking to see what we can. Haven't seen a map check yet from either runner as well.
Yeah, I figure we're gonna see that pretty soon.
And if you're just joining us, this is actually game 2 between these two teams, Double Dippers and Seal W. Game 1, Edda, or Edamp, I'm going to mispronounce that, and I sincerely apologize, beat Swerve. So Double Dippers actually up 1-0, hoping to get 2 in a row here.
Definitely will be a bit of an upset, especially since during the team announcements, I know the three commentators were saying, CLW is going to be a team to look out for. So the fact that Double Dippers are coming out of nowhere to go ahead and take these games, it's going to be awesome to see what happens. Now, so far, we're not seeing much in the way of unique items, just a little bit of heart containers here and there. We got ourselves some arrows, so nothing too exciting, but we're about to head into Kakariko, so we should see something here. No bombs, though.
I was going to say, and this is where mooglecharm's play is actually going to probably pay off a little bit better. With those rupees, they can just go down and buy bombs. Nabs is going to kind of have to gamble that they're going to get some bombs here in Blind's hideout.
Let's see if we have anything pay off for Nabs in these first 4 chests. Ooh, and it does. Got ourselves some bombs, a heart piece, some rupees, and the boots. Hey, we've actually got a race now.
Who doesn't like an early boot start? I mean, that's always what you want to see. And the glove as well. All right, so nice early start for both runners.
Ooh, and we got ourselves a bottle in Kakariko. I always love finding that here. If we could get the flute too, that would just be the cherry on top of the sundae here.
Yeah, and mooglecharm chose to go to the well instead of Blind's hut. Didn't get any bombs, so didn't quite work out. I didn't quite see what the auto vendor gave, so we'll have to check on that here in a moment.
Yeah, unfortunately the feed froze on us, so not sure what exactly it was. We know it wasn't arrows, money, or bombs, and we just got ourselves a red boomerang, so that's a plus.
That's the best meringue. Don't at me on that one.
Oh, it was money. It was a 20 rupee. Okay. Hey, we got our shovel in the back at Kakariko Tavern. So, fetch quest time. Let's do it.
Nabs making sure the chicken disappears entirely.
Wall clip there. Means we're gonna have a good seed.
I learned very quickly in a race not to do that because you can soft lock yourself, and that's just a bad time all around.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you're ever playing like a legit race, don't ever do that, guys. It's a bad idea.
Are you saying this isn't a legit race? This is a totally legit race, man.
No, it's a legit race. Just don't do it during legit races.
So mooglecharm with the bomb is going to go back, check the things that they miss, and we'll be picking up their glove and eventually their boots as well. So Nab's early routing here is actually going to pay off a little bit more.
Yeah, you gotta appreciate that excellent luck when it comes to finding bombs in Blind's hideout. Although, getting the extra 300 right off the bat off a hobo may actually play into Moogle's favor if Zora actually has something of use. And since we got those flippers, that is in logic.
And with the glove, you can now actually hooligan, just a little bit more difficult. Well, it's not difficult per se, but you got to push the grave to do back of escape and then just bomb yourself down.
Yeah, I'd say without a sword, it's a tad more difficult. It's just more annoying than anything else.
I mean, what's one? You know what's better than one glove? I say it's two gloves.
Ooh, heck yeah. 2 gloves are much better than 1.
So Nabs already with Titan's mitts. That's. I'm already worried about a potential early Ice Palace play.
Yeah, Flips and Titans kind of leads us that way.
Especially this early in the seed. I mean, those mitts were only Sphere 2. So I would almost expect, a lot of progression behind these mitts.
Now, if we happen to find the Fire Rod and the Hammer, soon, then that's just the game's way of saying, hey, go to Ice Palace right now. Well, I mean, of course, after we get the Moon Pearl, but you get the idea.
No, the Galaxy Brain play after getting the Fire Rod and the Hammer is to, go there as a bunny, just, take the death and just bunny revive, and then boom, you can do Ice Palace before you even get a Moon Pearl.
I mean, I don't think there's an option to get extra points in the Fantasy League through that, but there should be.
That is Galaxy Brain play number 1 today. Take notes, Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna.
Oh yes, you will see that in an upcoming daily, I'm sure.
There will be a quiz later on. The speed, though, putting in work for Nabs, making this pretty easy. I don't think mooglecharm did this, so some new things.
checks.
Getting blue mail, getting a sword. So things are going good. Getting another sword. I was almost hoping for a third sword right there.
I do prefer red over blue.
Getting some more money there over at Bonk Rock. So mooglecharm already close to Zora money, which is going to be good.
Here we go. Nabs is going to be visiting our man under the bridge, get his 300 rupees. Doesn't have enough for Zora just yet, so I don't know if he's going to risk getting the Waterfall Fairy or if he's just going to wait.
mooglecharm taking those gloves and the boots, doing Bonk Rock's King Suman. I imagine this is just going to be a back of escape play as well.
That would be much better routing method. Let's see if he actually does it. Yep, there he goes. Oh, okay. I was like, is he setting up the hula hand? Nope, he's just falling in. Didn't see that last one.
Yeah, couldn't check that last one. So hopefully we'll see Nabs check it on it a little bit later. But did see the bottle and the heart piece, and it looked to me like mooglecharm has a third bottle. So maybe it was a third bottle.
I have a lot of early bottles, which may be good if we're gonna stay at a low heart count. But hey, we're still early. It's only 10 minutes in.
By the way, now the runner giving us a map check, so we're still waiting to figure out. Okay, are we looking at some easy pendants? Are we going to be dipping some crystals? It's we're still hoping for some of that info, guys. Come on.
Apparently, this is a secret mystery between the two runners. It's a non-verbalized agreement to not check anything with the map.
I mean, I'm okay with just going inside dungeons and YOLOing it. I mean, that just seems like a really good play.
It definitely makes it entertaining.
So Nabs did check the stun prize, just heart. Didn't decide to try to farm up some rupees for Zora, so we might be missing a Zora check here. Meanwhile, mooglecharm gonna give us a desert check. More rupees on Desert Ledge. Nab's now even closer to Zora money, but not quite there.
Ooh.
And if I said Zora Ledge, I think I meant Desert Ledge.
It's alright, we all understand the isms.
There's a ledge, it has items on it.
Moogle checking the old Managina. None but money. Stealing from the old. How rude.
I mean, it was just pocket change. Really not really worth it. I would have just left it there, said thanks.
Yeah, the guy probably left it there for some reason or another. Probably the jazz hands dude's money, but just scared them all away because of all the farts.
Feels bad, man.
Alright, well there's 50 rupees for Nabs, so we've got Zora money now.
So there's the Zora money. That's probably a little frustrating for Nabs, so we're going to see if Nabs chooses to eventually go back or just say skip it altogether.
And I did hear 3 beeps on that bottle, so I think you're right. I think he does have 3 bottles. Nab should go ahead and show us here in a second, because I have a feeling he's going to do the back escape as well.
Yeah, I noticed it on the starting screen, and so mooglecharm now with their blue mail and master sword. So we're looking at, we have front of escape, we have Zora, and we've got the eastern area. I think that's all we've got logically left.
Yep. Now, of course, we could end up finding something good like the lamp or the flute over in Eastern leading us to the mountain, but all that really does is just give us Old Man and inside of Spec Rock.
And sure enough, it was a green potion that was in the chest that we weren't able to see. So both owners now with 3 bottles.
Mmm, delicious green goo.
mooglecharm going to set up a water walk. I don't think Nabs did this. So if you have the boots, if you dash kind of on the edge as you're leaving Ice Rod Cave, it puts you in this weird state that I'm not good at explaining. But as you're going to see, mooglecharm is now walking on water because, that's what Moogles do.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, when you're in a water walk state, but you actually have the flippers, once you hit shallow water, you lose your water walking capabilities. By the way, so Hashala didn't have anything, and we're finally getting a map check.
Oh, thank God.
I saw a blue pendant at Desert and 2 crystals over at Hera and Eastern. Neither of them look to be 5/6.
Alright, so probably won't have to do Desert. That's kind of a blessing in disguise.
Well, I mean, then the question begs, why did the game give us boots?
To make us go fast, of course. They know we're racing.
That's true. I'll give you that one. You got me this time.
There's always a first for everything.
Synapse, by the way, now in Eastern. Fair check. And look, it
Ooh!
pays off immediately. There's a Moon Pearl. So that's Dark World access.
Now this is interesting. I kind of like how he's risking going in for the other item, possibly two, because at this point he's got Dark World access. You can immediately dip out and then go ahead and carry over to like Thieves Town. You can go check out some of the other areas, like heck, the Smith Chain. I mean, nobody wants to do that without the mirror, but it's available.
I mean, you're here. The Moon Pearl was the first check. I don't blame Nabs for staying in and kind of checking this all out.
And Moogle did talk to our old man Sassy Pants and find out that the green pendant's over on Dark Palace this time. So we've got Desert and Pod. Which one do you think is going to be the last pendant dungeon?
Let's go Skullwoods.
That's uber kind. I was going to say something like Nice Palace, just in the hopes that something decent would be there, like the Fire Rod.
Well, that's just mean, sir.
It is, but it's also entertaining. Ooh,
There's a Bombos. Hey, you want to go to Ice Palace? I mean, this is the kind of seed that's saying, "Hey, take me to Ice Palace. I know you don't have a hammer, but maybe the hammer's just sitting in Ice Palace."
Let's see. Yeah, and Moogle's. Ooh, no, he's going. I can hear those boots.
All right, thought about it. Choosing to stay though, so gonna be rewarded with Bombos.
And as chat was pointing out, that was a fantastic Eastern item placement. 3 items all set up right in front, so don't have to worry about going to the back. Ooh, get our map check. It is Thieves Town as our last pendant, and the 5-6 is our Swamp and Skull Woods. Ooh, this is going to be interesting.
I'm pretty sure I said Skullwoods was a 5-6.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Haha.
And welcome to Speed Gaming 2. We are 16, almost 17 minutes into this wonderful race between mooglecharm and Nabs, the teams Double Dippers and Seal W. We have found ourselves Moon Pearl and Bombos Medallion in Eastern, so this is going to be pretty enticing here to see where we're going to go next.
Yeah, Nabs choosing to go to Skullwoods, and I mean, I think it's been proven that Skullwoods has been pretty plentiful in V31, so I think this is a good play regardless. Did find a shield, so we're already 1 item in.
Especially since we're kind of locked behind a fire rod for 2 of those checks, finding 1 item right off the bat is always reassuring. And it does look like mooglecharm is going to be following suit. Going to take the portal north of Kakariko. Most likely going to go ahead and check out Skullwoods as well.
And so with this pendant layout, we can already start to think in our heads, okay, how do we want to route the seed? What are the items specifically that we need for go mode? And, Thieves Town doesn't really lock anything. You can clear Thieves Town with basically, their current equipment. So anything with regards to that could be on the pedestal. Pod, you need bow, hammer, lamp. So those can't be on pedestal. And desert, I think you just need boots, a fire source, a glove, and a way in. So our pedestal possibility is actually pretty high at the moment.
Oh yeah.
At least in terms of what it could be.
Well, let's go down the list. We could possibly have Silver's, Hookshot, Fire Rod, Ice Rod, Ether, Quake, Mirror, or Book. Cane.
Did you just say or book because Nabs just picked up the book?
Oh. Never mind.
I mean, because if I mean, no, that's exactly how you did it because you claimed that, and because that was just an incredible bit of timing. Good job.
Apparently I'm really good with that, you know?
That's both items out of Skullwoods, by the way, so the runners won't need to come back until they've got their fire rod.
Woo!
But that does give us access to the front of Desert. Can't complete it without a fire source, but you can now dip your toe into Desert.
Smart. He knows that the stun prize is hard, so he's farming that up in case that murdered Dactyl decides to pay a visit. So nothing on Bumper Ledge, not going to be coming back here anytime soon, but now we've got the Village of Outcasts, 3 checks outside with 4 items in Thieves Town. Hopefully one of them is not locked behind the hammer.
And yeah, Thieves Town could at least give us a clue as to whether a hammer could potentially. Well, if hammer can't be on pod or on pedestal because of pod, I know my things.
See, this is the setup that's nice, but at the same time super evil. Because if you get pendant dungeons like Turtle Rock, Misery Mire, Skull Woods, then that kills 4 of the unique items right off the bat. You don't have to hunt for Fire Rod, Ice Rod, Cane, or Flute. Unless, of course, GT Big Keys want to be mean. But then now we've got this, it's like, you gotta hunt everything, dude.
Yeah, and with the book, with the boots, I'm curious about Desert Palace. I know we can't complete it, so maybe we wait for a lamp or fire rod. But to me, in the back of my head, I'd be looking at Desert, thinking, okay, you know, there's a decent chance that the logic is telling me to head over towards Desert.
Yeah, I've found that it's actually a bit easier in most of these seeds to just follow logic. I know it's kind of silly since this is rando, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Oof. That's 3 of the 4 dungeons items right off the bat.
Yep, so it looks like mooglecharms. No, they're not going to take this to the back.
It's kind of a wise idea. I've seen far too many seeds that'll go ahead and give you a curveball and throw a unique item in that big chest. Like, mirror.
Yeah, and with 3 items in the front, it's a risk, especially since you have the small key already.
Mm-hmm. Nabs is actually going to go ahead and dip out as well. So that is a safe play. That is, honestly, in my opinion, the best thing to do, especially since we're so early into the seed. We don't have a lot of unique stuff. Chances are good that's actually going to be necessary. So, better safe than sorry. Now for the fun decision here. Of course, you don't want to grab Jeremiah the Bullfrog here just yet. Because there's this nifty little thing with the digging game. If you try to talk to the guy while you've got anything following you, he says, nope, sorry, can't play, because apparently the shovel he gives you classifies as a follower. So you gotta do this first. Thankfully it's 2 digs, just for a heart piece.
Why can't I get 2 dig games? Like,
right?
It's always, 30. But no, this one is just nice and 2. Nabs, by the way, not gonna go pick up the frog. Instead, just going to kind of continue on. Mooglecharm will be picking up the frog, so a little bit of divergence here.
And again, not a bad play per se, because picking up the frog without the mirror, you gotta go a long way around. I mean, that's why we joke that it's the trip around the world. You're taking them everywhere. Wonderful.
Yeah, it's a little difficult in the early game with kind of the equipment that we have to see a whole lot of divergence because the seed is kind of funneling you in one direction, but maybe we get a little bit something here in Hype Cave. Probably not. That was already 3 bombs, 10 arrows, 3 bombs, 3 bombs, and a heart container.
I was hoping that we would get 3 more bombs, so I could hear you say that in the same monotonous voice.
3. Well, I mean, look, I can do it again now that mooglecharm is going in there. Is that cool?
Yes. All right, let's do it.
All right. So, Hype Cave today has 3 bombs, 10 arrows, 3 bombs, 3 bombs, and a heart container.
I love it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll be here for another 2-ish hours, probably hour and a half. And this is where you're going to see the decision to pick up the frog show some actual divergence. So Nabs without the frog says, okay, I'm just going to jump in the water, cross, head over to pod. mooglecharm is like, no, I need to make sure I drop off our smith friend and check the item. So this is going to be our first real divergence of the seed.
And honestly, both could be good plays, just depending on what's actually here. Both are logical. Pod has 5 items for us, hopefully. And the Smith chain, yeah, we've got at least 2.
And Nabs, I still believe, has a potion, so they can potion glitch to get to the bowlock side. Hey, look, our 4th bottle with another bee in it. So I think 3 of our 4 bottles had bees.
I feel a Dr. Bees reference coming on here.
I got nothing. Getting a small key, so not immediately bow locked. Could still potentially be bow locked depending on how the rest of these items shape out. It looks like mooglecharm is going to take the north route over to Catfish.
Ooh.
Pretty smart, because if you want to get over there to East Dark World through your Titan's Midst portal over at Kakariko, this route would actually be quicker, and it gives you another check with Catfish. But that does mean they're isolating purple chest, which, I mean, if you're doing the Smith sequence, isolating purple chest is questionable, at least to me.
Yeah, it's kind of an all or nothing thing. If you're gonna do the Smith sequence, you finish it up.
But maybe in a 1v1 race, you're kind of thinking, okay, where can I cut corners? And purple chest is admittedly a long check, so could be the difference between winning and losing.
Fair enough. Ooh.
That's a nice pickup right there, Samaria.
Now, over on our bowlock side, it was just 2 small keys, so that may insinuate that we've actually got some progression in the back. Because that would just unlock something like Harmless Hellway or the check above the arena, as well as the way down to Helmasaur. So chances are good we've got something in pod as well.
But it does also mean, depending on how the rest of the front of this dungeon plays out, that a good portion of the back is actually going to be bow-locked, because that's 2 small keys on the bow-lock side.
Oh, that's true. I'm going to say this may be a small key then.
No, this would actually probably... I would say, yeah, this... I was going to say, yeah, we were 3 for 3 in small keys. So there are 4 guaranteed small keys in the front, but there could be up to 5 or 6, and there's our other 2. So
yeah,
I want to say
definitely
most
bow-locked.
of the back. I want to say most, if not all, the back is bow-locked, but I admittedly don't know everything about key logic and pod.
That's fair. I'm just gonna make it up as we go until I'm told otherwise.
Meanwhile, mooglecharm gonna follow Nabs into Palace of Darkness, so back to a little more of a convergence.
Ooh, another small key. Okay, so technically, we can still get back here. So if we get like 1 more small key up in this area, then I think we're still good. Still technically in logic. see. Yeah, okay, so we could actually open up Harmless Hellway. So that may have our next bit of progression. If it also has a small key, then that means we would have access to that large key. Oh, nope. That was the last one. Okay, so I'm betting there is some form of progression in Harmless Hellway.
Yeah, and the big key chest is definitely bow locked. So whatever's in the big chest is for sure bow locked.
Come on, Dad, you need some new pair of shoes? Ah, dang it. That's why I don't gamble.
And yeah, chat pointing out that the back end is bow locked entirely because of the 2 small keys. Because you could conceivably take the small key that you get that mooglecharm just picked up, and if say you had the bow or whatever, you could go to the right side and thus use keys in a bad way essentially.
Oh, that's right. That's right. It's wonderful devs made it so even if you use the keys in the dumbest of fashion, you can never soft lock.
I think that was the map that Nabs just picked up.
Yep. So we got all of our dungeon items. So we've got ourselves one on Helmasaur, one down here in the bottom right chest, and one in the biggin. Looks like Nab is just about to find his way over, and it's a heart piece. So, pod not really paying off at this point. We still could have something here in the big chest. It would be out of logic, especially since we're in the dark rooms. But maybe it's something good. Nope, I lied. It's a fire shield. Nobody wants that.
So about that Ice Palace play.
Yes.
I mean, looking at it, we can dip into desert, can't complete it. I don't think either runner is on front of escape just yet, so there could be looking at some progression there. You have one item in the back of Thieves Town that could be hammer locked, and we're looking at Ice Palace.
Hammerless Ice Palace. Oh, it's so good.
Looks like though Naz is going to take the gloves, continue some sequence breaking. Oh no, just checking.
Checking Lumberjack, which I believe we've already seen, and that was 10 arrows, honestly.
I thought it was a heart piece. It wasn't necessary, whatever it was.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, it was a heart piece. I mean, there's so many, it's bound to be a heart piece. Wait, that's vanilla, isn't it?
It is. Maybe that's the exact heart piece that is supposed to be up there.
We need to break the code and find out if that's a Lumberjack heart piece.
But Nabs is actually going to continue this little sequence break and heading up to the mountain. Not going to be able to check a whole lot, just what the old man gives us and what's inside Spectacle Rock. Everything else, by the way, is going to be not accessible.
It'll be intriguing to see if we do have our progression up here, because that would indicate either lamp or flute in one of the accessible areas. And funny enough, I think that's actually one of the safer sequence breaks to do in this game, because dark rooms really are just a suggestion.
Yeah, this one doesn't take a whole lot of time, plus it gives you a save and quit point back up the mountain. So this isn't, it's not like this is a serious, like, oh no, this is going to be a make it or break it for Nabs.
But say if he finds the hook shot up here, then ooh boy.
That wasn't the hook shot. I'm disappointed.
Oh, I know.
Neither was that. My disappointment has doubled.
Let's go for 3 for 3.
What's the third one? I don't know what the third one is.
That's the disappointment. You'll never know.
Oh no! It looks like Nabs is now going to make a front of escape play, which makes sense. It's one of the few things that's still in logic that you probably feel comfortable doing. Because, I mean, realistically, you don't want to dip Ice Palace without a hammer, but that's what this seed might be telling you to do.
Now, I do believe that from the items we've seen in the back of Escape and in Sanctuary, we should just have 2 more in the front, correct? Because we're still missing that small key in the map.
I'm not sure if the map was in Sanctuary chest or not.
I can't remember.
I know we haven't seen the small key. That much is certain.
Wonderful thing that our tracker is pointing out here. 33 minutes in, and we still don't have any logical crystal yet. We can complete Thieves Town, and that's about it.
Yeah, right now that's the only thing we can actually clear. Just some
Oh.
money, and Nabs
And-
appears to have been counting items better than both of us because they are saving and quitting after that, meaning that it is just a small key and a map in the 2 remaining checks.
Yarp. I may have actually had a vanilla small key there. So about that Ice Palace play.
I mean, I don't think Nabs is going to head in that direction. This seems like a desert thing. And our tracker pointing out
Yeah.
was maybe the front of the East Sound had all 4 dungeon items, and there's just 4 items in the back.
Oh, that would... Did we get the compass in the first one?
I'm not sure. I didn't see it.
That may have been it then, because I know we got the small key, the map, and the big key in the last 3. So yeah, oof, that could have been it.
So Nabs checking Agino. We know it's nothing. mooglecharm checked this earlier, but again, we can now dip into desert, and maybe it's desert without the ability to clear it.
I know we really shouldn't be cursing these poor fellows, but wouldn't it be a hoot if Thieves Town had like 3 progressive items or progression items?
I mean, we're not cursing them. We didn't roll the seed.
Well, yeah, but it's commentators. It's
I'm
their
just
job to
commentating
say.
on what I'm seeing. And besides, this is the past. We're looking at 10 minutes ago, man.
Okay, that is true.
For those who don't know, that these runners are required to run on a 10-minute delay, just in case. And mooglecharm also counting both items, something that we here in the broadcast booth weren't able to do.
Well, here's our first bit of fun. We're going into desert. See if it pays off. Possible 1 item at the very least, as long as those worms don't hold on to the other bit.
I think we're gonna get a hook shot here.
Oh, come on, we can do it. It's a
Well, it's boot.
compass.
Well, it's boots locked, whatever it is.
Big key. Big key. Oh, man.
Our guessing game is just bad today.
It is. Blew all my awesome knowledge on that book.
It looks like mooglecharm is gonna make the play into Thieves Sound, so 3 items, but you're gonna be leaving 1 behind.
Mm-hmm. Looks like Nab's got his big key there. Let's see if we've got the map or if it's gonna be nice and give us an item.
Oh, it's a mirror! It did have something!
Hot diggity daffodil. He's out of there.
That doesn't open up much, though.
No, it doesn't. It's like, dude, go back, finish, please.
Yeah. So still have 1 more item potentially to get out of this, but so that mirror opens up bad mirror checks, K45, Graveyard Ledge,
Makes the Smith chain a little bit easier.
First Chest Swamp Palace, and gets us into Hera and potentially not able to clear it depending on where the big key is.
And that would be out of logic, but we've got our second item in desert, so we don't have to worry about anything more, knock on wood, unless this happens to be a ped seed. And I believe I may have just cursed us all.
We haven't been very good with our curses at the moment.
Oh,
Chat
that's
might
good.
disagree with that statement, but
and
realistically,
yes.
what have we done?
Through that menu check, it was all 4 dungeon items off of the front.
All right.
So Moogle is going to be leaving one of them behind. Ooh, and I think Nab is actually, he's going to go ahead and do the Smith chain, I'm betting. That or he's going to check out Graveyard Ledge.
I would hope that this is a play towards a Grave Ledge. You picked up the mirror. Let's follow the mirror. Maybe take advantage. Because nope, I'm just gonna get proven wrong. Just kidding. This is a smart play.
Follow the breadcrumbs. Dang it.
I know this is just K45. Maybe this is K45 north.
I am so confused.
Nabs is doing very good at making me confused. Just a heart container. To say something in chat, Smith Chain isn't a dud just yet. I don't think we've seen Purple Chest.
We have not seen Purple Chest as of yet.
Purple, Smith Chain could still be something.
Oh, and someone else in chat pointing out that our Bombos tablet check will also be available once Nabs heads down there, so that's another item along the sequence. Now, 40 minutes in, we have our first boss fight. Unfortunately, it's not a crystal, but at least we get some boss fight.
It's gotta feel bad for both runners. I mean, 40 minutes in, and the first dungeon we're clearing is a pendant.
Oh yeah, not even the green pendant. That's just pouring salt on the wound.
And nothing in there for mooglecharm, so still one item at Thieves Town in the big chest, but aside from that, it's not what mooglecharm was looking for.
So now his main thing is to head over to Desert, or do the purple chest.
Yeah, this will be a purple chest play for sure.
Good. Now, if this pays out for him, you know what? Actually, I take that back. I'm kind of hoping purple chest isn't anything good, because think about it. If he gets some form of progression to lead him away from Desert, he may orphan that mirror.
I mean, the mirror locks so much, though, especially if we don't find the hook shot. Because, say hook shot is on East Death Mountain, then our mirror is our logical access to East Death Mountain. So I feel like the mirror isn't going to be too far out of reach for mooglecharm here. But, there's the hammer!
Oh my god, I almost spit out my soda. I was just about to say, if it's the hammer, then man, Ice Palace, ooh boy.
Now the seed can actually begin.
Oh my god. Alright, I want someone to clip this, so that way I can hoard it over people in about an hour and a half. I believe this is going to...
the hook shot! Bombos tablet!
Yeah,
All of a sudden, we got everything.
This is going to be Moogle's downfall. Oh man.
You say that, but Moogle has the Canis Amaria from Catfish, and that's at this point a check that Nabs has orphaned. So it could be a while to get that important Canis Amaria, but Nabs is going to take this straight over to East Death Mountain. I don't blame them at all for this, because at this point you're looking for, this could be a lot of items for sure.
Oh yeah, it's a good opportunity, because not only can you actually get to another crystal dungeon here, you can clear out, what is that, 7, 8... Technically, you can check on the 9th item. There's a load of stuff up here.
And mooglecharm has taken this hammer over 2 hammer pegs. Still not a whole lot for mooglecharm to do. Nabs with a sword and a lamp, so... Well, that lamp, though, is important, because that lamp now tells Nabs that your logical access to Death Mountain is a flute. So at this point, you got to start thinking to yourself, okay, where could my flute be?
Hammer pegs.
Hammer pegs is one of them. I'm thinking probably Ice Palace.
That would be an interesting one to go with. Ah, dang it. I mean, it was blue. I was kind of on the right track.
Yeah, it wasn't really shaped like a flute, though, unfortunately.
I mean, if you push it over on its side and drill some holes into it, it could look like a flute.
Oh, is mooglecharm going back into Thieves Town for the one chest? Oh, they are.
Oh my.
This is This is a risky play.
I don't blame him because of all the stuff that this seed has been doing. It very well could be telling him to go back here. It's just, yeah, super duper risky.
But I mean, if this is something, I mean, this could be another advantage for mooglecharm. So neither runner out of this just yet. I mean, we don't have any crystal yet, Mark. So both runners still with a long way to go.
That is true. And I agree with what you said earlier. That Kane could be the orphan that Nabs ends up losing a bunch of time on. I'd say the only thing that Nabs has going for him in that regard is that he hasn't done Zora yet, and since he's got the mirror, he can do a 1-2 combo.
Chat, by the way, pointing out that mooglecharm, as a member of the Double Dippers, is actually triple dipping Thieves Town.
We're gonna have to ask him if he wants to change his team name.
And Nabs, by the way, look like they're setting up a Harapot. And gets it. I mean, that's not a setup
nice.
I've seen, so, you know, well done on that one.
That is a tough one.
And unfortunately for mooglecharm, just 300 rupees in the Thieves Town big chest, so Thieves Town a complete bust.
Ooh, and it looks like we've got ourselves an item down in the Hera basement, so something is firelocked down there.
Alright, mooglecharm is making the correct play. Looks like they're heading into desert, so they'll be picking up their mirror.
Definitely going to put him in the right direction. It's going to be interesting to see if he decides to go ahead and check over at Swamp once he gets that hook shot, though. 'Cause that's a full clear, and that's 6 items. Now, as far as Nabs go, I don't know. Would you go ahead and risk leaving Hera Basement this early on? We've got so many unique items.
Yeah, I probably would.
Looks like Nabs isn't, though.
I mean, Nabs has made the right play so far in the seed, so I mean, if this is something, they're just gonna continue to do well.
Oh, yeah. And heck, I can tell just from a race just, what was that, a week, 2 weeks ago, someone ended up losing the race because they accidentally orphaned this one location. Doesn't happen all the time, but ooh, does it hurt when you accidentally lose a unique item in here. And while we're going ahead and getting our wonderful coffee break on Nab's side, we'll go ahead and give a quick shout out to both these awesome runners. Feel free to go ahead and check out their Twitch pages, give them a follow. These guys are some really, really good Link to the Past runners. They've gone through some tournaments in the past, done pretty well, so if you guys want to have some entertainment, feel free to go ahead and check them out.
Alright, what did we leave, or what is this item down here?
It's... ooh, red mail.
Alright, well, won't say no to that. Nabs, you have a mirror.
It's alright, I've forgotten that. My
That
favorite is when you set up a death warp, have a fairy, and then immediately remember after you've revived that you have the mirror.
There you go. Never what you like to see. Alright, so mooglecharms need to do a little bit of catching up. They've got to work their way over to Bombo's tablet. Looks like they'll probably take this portal. Well, nope, this is going to be... This looks to be a Death Mountain play.
Yeah, they're gonna head up to Tower of Hera and go the long route. Unfortunately, they're not gonna be too happy finding just a sword and a lamp.
We're not going to be able to do any of that because they don't have... Well, no, yeah, that's right. They've got the mirror now.
They got the hammer,
yeah.
so they're good.
Yep.
Ooh, and we're finally gonna check out our first medallion. It is Vanilla Quake for Turtle Rock. All right.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, the one medallion we don't have as of right now. Well, I mean, we've only got one.
There's
You know what I was trying
we've
to
only
say.
got one. Counting
The
today
game-
with Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna.
Ah. There's the other boomerang and the single rupee.
Oh, it's the bad boomerang.
Thank you. I mean, you'd think with splash deletion it'd get like a resurgence of being good. That red boomerang would be like, oh yeah, it's everyone's favorite now, but no. People still hate it. But anywho, on to Hookshot Cave. We've got ourselves the wonderful small heart piece. Homer takes a quick fall, but gets back up there. Second chest is 10 arrows. Heart piece. And heart container.
mooglecharm giving us an ether tab will play. Don't think it's something that Nabs did, and I think Nabs like pulled out the bug and realized, oh heck, I didn't do this. But instead, going to continue to show that they are the runners and I am not, and do Smile Cave.
Alright, so Super Bunny Cave and Hookshot didn't have anything, so thankfully for mooglecharm, he's not going to miss out on much. Well, in Hookshot Cave at least.
Oh, and there's our last sword.
Yay!
Alright, so we've got all the swords. I think Nabs, I think their best play at this point is Swamp and Ice Palace.
Hey, that's a 1-2 combo you can get behind.
It's a 1-2 combo you wish you could go mode, but Seed is probably not going to be that kind to us today.
No.
And yes, to answer chat, Paradox had the third sword and a lamp for us.
So we're still missing bow and fire rod, nice rod, and oh wait, no, we got Canis Maria. And flute and quake and possibly ether?
Yeah, so we're still well away from go mode for either runner at this point.
But you know what'd be great? Is if we found every unique item necessary in Swamp.
That would be the beefiest Swamp Palace ever.
That would. It would be a bow, fire rod, ice rod, quake, flute, and just the mushroom for good measure.
I was going to say silvers.
Yeah, no, that's too easy.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we want some excitement here.
This has been an exciting scene. I don't know if you've been watching. It's been mean to our runners, and then all at once it's like, okay, here are things, and they just throw stuff at you. So yeah, no, this has been an exciting seed for sure.
Ooh.
Hey, look, it's the bow. All right, so 1 for 1.
Check.
Here we go. Everyone get hyped because this is gonna happen. Clearly, we know this.
Yes.
To answer chat, the league is these players are each on a team of 3 players, and over the course of 7 weeks, 2 players from a team will play 2 players from a different team in various modes. This is week 1. This is your usual open 7-7 defeat Ganon, and then a win is worth 3 points. A loss is worth 0. I don't know if ties are worth any points.
1
probably
point.
1. Okay, 1 point. And after 7 weeks, I believe the top 3 make playoffs with the 2-3 seeds each playing each other in the first round, and then the winner playing the divisional winner and going from there.
Exactamundo.
And yeah, 64 teams in this league, 2 conferences of 32 teams, 8 divisions overall, each with 4 divisions overall, each with 18. No, something. Words.
It's a buttload of people.
It's a lot of people. And I can't math at the moment.
Yeah, we got 64 teams. Let's see, that would be 3 per team.
It's 192 players.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that because someone in chat said that. I clearly did the math in my head very quickly in that instance.
Exactly.
But Nabs, by the way, choosing not to go left side swamp, got 100 rupees, so 2 for 2 in terms of non-dungeon items. It makes sense that let's go to the back. Maybe they're lucky and gets a situation where it's map compass big key on left side and thus in the big chest.
You mean the good swamp? And it's no longer the good swamp.
And just kidding.
But yeah, that's why you check those first, because if those aren't the dungeon items right there, then hey, you've saved yourself like 5 minutes. Unfortunately, Nabs won't be saving himself 5 minutes because we're probably gonna have something over there.
Meanwhile, mooglecharm heading up, finishing off Dark Death Mountain. I believe they've already finished Hera, so they do have that crystal.
Mm-hmm.
And we did get Powder in Swamp, and for those of you who have been on Speed Gaming 3 since the previous race, would note that there was potentially a Powder in Swamp in the last seed, and that led to a bow.
Well, unfortunately, it wouldn't be the bow for us, but hey, silvers are awesome. I'd absolutely love to see another bow on the bat. And that's Argus down. Puffballs are out of here. And it looks like we do have ourselves some items on the left side, so will Nabs go back in?
Yeah, it's at least 2 items. So mooglecharm now done with what they can do in Dark Death Mountain without the hookshot, not able to check the rest of the chests. So it would be interesting to see where they go next, because we know that their progression is on Bombo's tablets. But for mooglecharm, at this point they're probably thinking, okay, maybe Ice Palace has something, although they're heading into the Dark World, so this could be a
I hope he goes Bombos.
Bombo's check.
Now, the nice thing for mooglecharm is that because the hookshot was not available, in Hookshot Cave, all those other items were just garbage. So that's not going to be a wasted check. Unless mooglecharm is like, maybe I should go back there, in which case that's just lost time.
Meanwhile, Nab showing us that doing left side is very slow.
Mm-hmm.
And no one likes doing it. But when there's 2 items, you still need several items before you're in go mode. Makes sense to take care of them.
Oh, most definitely.
And welcome everyone from Speed Gaming 4. This is a week 1 matchup between mooglecharm and Nabs, representing Double Dippers and Seal W respectively. It's been a pretty interesting seed so far. mooglecharm actually heading in the right direction, going to be picking up their hookshot, which is here on Bombo's tablets, which has given Nabs a little bit of an early lead, but still, it's a very slow start. Neither runner able to get a crystal until 45 minutes in, but things are finally beginning to open up.
Now, I'm still anticipating we're going to have something good in Ice Palace for the seed throwing so much at us saying, hey, go finish Ice Palace. It's going to have something good.
I mean, realistically, with the items that we have at hand, we would almost expect something to have to be there. Whether it's Quake to get into Turtle Rock or the Flute to get up to Mizrameyer and put the Mountain in Logic. Still a lot to be determined here.
Very, very true. Now, the nice thing is, since we do have that bow, we can go ahead and finish up Pod and Eastern. I believe there was one more item in Pod, and that's going to be on Helmasaur.
Yep. With Pod also being green pendant, that does give us a second item that Pod is attached to.
Oof. Alright, so only useful thing in Swamp was the bow, and that's in the first chest. So if mooglecharm decides to ignore left side swamp, he's going to have a little bit of a catch-up there. But yeah, I doubt that's going to happen since there's still so much left.
We did also find powder, so maybe could be two things that could lead to something important. And plus, powder is just nice to have in general as a safety.
Ah, fair enough. I mean, especially since you've got all those bottles. If you find the swag net, then you are
Look
just
at where Nabs
golden.
going. Oh,
Wait,
I thought,
never mind.
darn it. I hope he continues this route up to Catfish and gets their Cane of Samaria.
That would be a good thing. Oh no, it's a heart piece. Oh no.
I think this is Samaria. I think he's going the right way.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. All right, so Nabs is gonna pick up their Cane of Samaria, and that's big. That was the one thing that really could have trolled Nabs here, and Nabs rightfully getting their Samaria, and will be put in a pretty good position.
That is excelente. It will be kind of an interesting thing to see if Nabs decides to do the risky play of finishing up Pod and then turning in the Green Pennant after finishing Eastern, or just going for Ice Palace, because it's 3 items versus the 2. You still get a crystal from Ice Palace, and it's probably going to be a little bit better for him.
I think Nabs is going to finish this out by checking already just check Catfish. By checking Zora, we know it's just nothing.
Definitely good routing there, especially since, this is something that you really want to check. Unfortunately, it's nothing, because we've already seen it, but he'll soon find that out. World's most expensive bomb pack.
And you only get 3.
It's organic. The organic blueberries.
I was going to say, what's the difference between organic and non-organic bombs? Asking for a friend.
I'm afraid I'm not allowed to answer that question anymore.
Fair enough. Nabs, by the way, now heading into Ice Palace. This is a play that, at least partially, has been open almost since the beginning of the game. So, will be interesting to see if we get something in here.
And I'm only slightly disappointed that both runners decided not to do the fun, silly sword dash hookshot mix. There's a nifty little trick that you can do if you have butter, the boots, and the hookshot when you come to fight this guy, that if you're basically holding a spin charge and then use the hookshot, you can time it just right to basically insta-kill the puffs one after another and not have to worry about losing your spin slash. I mean, it's kind of annoying to find the rhythm, but it's fun.
You can do that with Tempered and even Master Sword as well. Doing it with Master Sword is really interesting because it takes 2 of those poke slashes to actually kill one of those puffs, and so it's a much difficult rhythm. But I've seen it done before, and it's really, really cool to look at.
Oh yeah, that's why I like butter, because it's so much easier. Even I can do it, and if it's a trick that I can do, anybody can do it.
And mooglecharm, by the way, skipping out on left side swamp, so it's going to save time, and we're almost even at this point. Both runners now in Ice Palace, both with 2 crystals, both with basically the same item layout, so we're basically right on point with this match.
This is excellent for Moogle. I bet Moogle is just feeling a little bit behind with some of the checks, basically last locationing that hookshot. But hey, that's the right decision. They're going into the right areas at the right time, so this may pay off.
So here in Ice Palace, our runners are going to be doing what's known as the Ice Palace bomb jump. And what this bomb jump does is it allows the runners to complete this dungeon much more quicker and without the need of a big key. And so Nabs gets a first try, nicely done. There is a new tech that is being discussed by the Racing Council called Icebreaker, which allows you to use the Cane of Samaria to bypass this section of the dungeon. But not race legal yet, and might never be race legal depending on what the Racing Council chooses.
I am for banning it altogether, mainly because I can't do it.
It's really simple.
Yeah, I know, but that's why I want it banned. Because it hurts my pride.
Anyways, one item out of Ice Palace so far, just 20 rupees, not what we're looking for. Gotta unfortunately take a little bit of the long way around. The unfortunate aspect of doing the Ice Palace bomb jump is if you don't get a small key early on, this is kind of the route you've got to take to get over to the hookshot lock side. Okay, fine. Chad is correcting me. 2 items. I don't count the mirror shield as an acceptable item.
You're not a fan of super lag?
I would prefer seeds that didn't have shields.
But it makes Laser Bridge so easy. But in all seriousness, just since I know chat's going a little wild minute, I am kidding when I say I want it banned just because I can't do it. It is a joke. I mean, can you believe, or would you believe if things would be banned because the majority of the people couldn't do it? All these hover people would just be really upset.
I think that is a discussion for another time. Mooglecharm looking like they're gonna bomb jump. A little interesting. Don't have a small key to go down, but can take this north and get over to the right side quicker.
Gotta give them props for that one, because that is a fun one to get. Not only do you have to make sure you're on the edge like the other bomb jump, but you gotta make sure you're at the right angle. Because if you're not, then you're gonna just fall right down the hole.
So there's one item left, and after this, what are we looking at? We're looking at Pod, which has 2 items. Eastern doesn't have any items. We've gotten all 3 already. I think combined with everything we've seen, that's about it. Oh, you know what? We do have the pedestal is partial. Pedestal's not fully in logic yet because our lamp is still out of logic, but the pedestal play is something that is available.
But you know, if the last item here happens to be the flute...
I admittedly wasn't looking to see what was in the vanilla big key chest, if it was our 3rd item or not.
I think it was another small key or the map. I don't think it was anything interesting, otherwise chat would be going insane. Ooh, Cold Stare has the last item. I think.
Well, rip my prediction, 5 minutes in, saying that Ice Palace was going to be the play without the hammer.
Oh, that's all right.
But with Butter Sword, this is going to be an easy Cold Stare fight, if there is such a thing.
Yeah, we don't call this the Butter Sword because of its color. It's because it melts everything like butter. Interesting setup there. still takes down Cold Stare like it was nothing. See if we get something good. Ooh, Ether. Okay, so...
That's not what I was expecting.
Me neither. This is interesting indeed. Well, okay. As far as...
So that begs the question, so what are we missing? Because obviously finishing pod isn't in logic.
Yeah. What?
Would that mean graveyard ledge?
Yeah, that would be Graveyard Ledge. Running down the list.
I also thought one of these runners checked graveyard ledge. I guess not.
Yeah. Alright, well, let's see if Nabs is gonna go check it now. He's definitely doing something.
I mean, if if you've been keeping an eye on the logic like Nabs probably is doing, then at this point Nabs is probably thinking, yeah, there has to be something on graveyard ledge. Like, it has to be the flute.
It's gotta be.
Looks like Nabs, though, is instead going to take this into Thieves Town, which is not... I mean, it makes sense for Nabs. Nabs has 4 items over here.
Oh, wait, no. Did we check Magic Bat already?
No, we haven't checked Magic Bat, so Magic Bat is an option as well.
Okay, yeah. We got one of those 2 options. I mean, if the game wants to be mean and throws another fetch quest, that's fine. Gosh, it's like a daily earlier. Friggin'... This just goes to show that rando's always gonna rando. You find one fetch quest to lead to another fetch quest that leads to another fetch quest which leads to a tablet, which then leads you to final progression.
Yeah, and for Nabs, this play makes sense. You know, you put off Thieves Town after doing the front 4 because you found 4 dungeon items. Now you have the hammer, so coming into Thieves Town when your options logically are 4 items in Thieves Town, Graveyard Ledge, and Magic Bat, you know, this makes sense. You go with the item density.
That's always going to be a much better gamble. Fortunately, it doesn't pay off this time around, but it's okay. It'll still be good. Now, thinking about the way things are laid out for us, we got both items in Skullwoods, so there's nothing else there. We've got our Ice Palace out of the way. We need that flute to open up the Misery Mire area, so... Yeah, I think you're right. I think Graveyard Ledge or Magic Bat will have the flute. That's the only logical thing that would get us going. Now, I'm trying to see if there's any other way to spin it. I think that's it. No, wait. I just thought of something. What if it's actually the Fire Rod? Which then opens up Pyramid Fairy, which then gives us the flute.
What is our other 5/6 Crystal Swamp Palace? So yeah, I mean, the Fire Rod could potentially be a thing which would give us access to Pyramid Fairy.
Oh, it's exciting! Ooh, that dang Jelly not wanting to be kind to poor Homer.
This Homer sprite is always a little creepy to me. The way his eyes are just like almost staring at you. His head doesn't move when the body shifts. It's weird.
It's that uncanny valley effect. Pretty quick blind fight there. Just not gonna be happy to find nothing.
Got a little off script, but next play now onto mooglecharm's side. Is Helmasaur King gonna have something for us?
Oh, I hope so. I hope this pays off for Moogle. And down goes our Dino Kitty. What have you got for us, King Helmosaur? Ooh, heart container. Okay, so green pendant turn-in time. Will it be here? Will it be a magic bat, or will it be... Well, it can't be here. But what will be our next progression?
So pod was empty, right? Like aside
Oh
from
yeah.
what potentially the screen pendant was. So we're
Mhm.
well, let's see. We're 1 for 3 on pendant dungeon requirements. Desert did have the mirror, but the Town empty. Pod at this point is looking pretty empty. And now all eyes shift to Nabs as we do another new check.
Come on, drum roll, please. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Hey-o!
Hey, it's our flute.
And all is right with the world. We are back in logic.
And just like that, there were 2 required items in Swamp Palace. Second straight seed here on this very channel where powder in Swamp Palace led to a required item.
Entertainment you can only find at Speed Gaming. Feel free to follow.
That didn't sound like an advertisement at all.
It just rolls off the tongue. And to clarify with chat, yes, we do not know what is on pad yet. Neither one of our runners have decided to check it, even though they've got the book. So they're just making us wait with bated breath. But now that
Go ahead.
I was saying, now that we're into the Misery Mire area, we're going to see if our last dungeon here needs fake or if we're good.
And I was going to say, with that flute, we do snap back into logic. So we are now, you know, logic-wise, we're in pretty good shape.
Ooh, Dekape.
Hey, that logically gives us access to Spy Cave.
And it's Bombos.
Bombos was in Eastern, so we've had access to that for a while. Well, we've had that for a while.
Oh, and there's Quake.
And Quake. Not really surprised there.
Yeah, the keys tend to be hidden under the mats quite often. Unfortunately, it looks like Turtle Rock kind of mixed up the keys, left it over at Misery Mire's place. That's alright, they're good buddies.
Alright, is this green pendant play worth it for mooglecharm? Moment of truth.
Ice Rod, Ice Rod, Ice Rod.
Oh my
god, I was right!
Oh no! Oh, that's big because it's the ice rod of all things.
Yes! That's 2 for 2, baby!
I'm gonna casually shuffle away from you, by the way, in case the mob comes to burn you.
They'll never find me.
But that's amazing for mooglecharm and really bad for Nabs because I suspect Nabs is gonna take this up to Turtle Rock and dip Turtle Rock before you go finish Palace of Darkness.
Oh yeah, I mean you've got everything, especially if Fire Rod is up here. There's no reason not to go up to Turtle Rock and check that. With the way the seed has been plaguing these 2 runners, it's gonna push him towards Turtle Rock for sure.
I mean, the one thing I will say is Nabs has been more thorough with their clears than mooglecharm has, so maybe, you know, before you go up to Turtle Rock, you're going to want to clear Eastern Palace in case you get the crystal, in case you get, you know, Ice Rod up on Turtle Rock. Oh, there's the Fire Rod! That's it! That's everything we need! That's no mode.
Nice. Alright, so 118.24. Unfortunately, that also means Pet is dead, so... Wah, wah.
Yeah, and just to finish my thought, like I said, Nabs has been more thorough with their clearing, so maybe when they go to Eastern Palace, they think, okay, maybe I check Green Pendant just in case?
That is very likely, honestly. Nabs has been playing that way. So that could be his saving grace. We'll just have to see here. I have a feeling that he's going to go ahead and clear up Eastern after Skullwoods, though, especially with that Fire Rod. And honestly, I would not put it past him to go ahead and check Ped while he's checking out Mothula.
Yeah, the path for Nabs is pretty clear at this point. It's, finish off Meyer, go up, do Skullwoods, like you said, probably check Pedestal to make sure it's not Ice Rod. Probably head over, do Pyramid Fairy over to Eastern. And then at that point, you just kind of got to hope that they're going to, choose to gamble the one item on Pendant Pod, as well as getting the Green Pendant, turning that in for the Ice Rod.
Moogle is doing a great job following Nabs' footsteps here. This is going to be unbelievably close.
That's kind of what this race has been this whole time. Like, Nabs has done things before mooglecharm, and mooglecharm has kind of followed, a couple of minutes behind, but at the same time, mooglecharm has kind of done the necessary things, like getting that Ice Rod. So it's, Nabs is still in it, but Nabs is going to have to make a pretty big brain play here soon.
Thankfully, Meyer is being kind to us and not making us stay behind the cutscene chest.
Nabs, by the way, looking to set up Spooky Meyer.
Which I do absolutely love seeing. Oh, and welcome everyone from Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming Portuguese. Welcome to this wonderful, wonderful race. We're a little over an hour and 20 minutes in between Double Dippers and CLW. We've got mooglecharm and Nabs racing. This is going to be game 2 for these two teams this week. This has been quite an interesting seed, and I highly recommend that you watch the VOD after this is all said and done so you can go ahead and enjoy the first 80 minutes. But basically, we've been on this wonderful hunt of where's our progression for the first 40 minutes, and then it just cascaded all over us.
Yeah, and the big difference now is mooglecharm will hit go mode here in a moment with the Fire Rod. Nabs still missing the Ice Rod, which is on Sahasrahla, with Pod being our Green Pendant.
Now, the good news is that CLW will more than likely go ahead and finish up Pod, since they both taken care of everything in Pod except for Helmaspar. But it'll just be kind of tricky to see what he wants to do first. See if he's going to get in that go mode.
And speaking of go mode, mooglecharm now officially in go mode.
Let's see, we've got Skullwoods, Misery Mire, Turtle Rock. Skullwoods is a super quick one. All you gotta do is run to the back, say hello to Mothula, burn him, or her. I always forget which one it is.
It's a moth.
It is a moth. It's a very pretty moth. Anyway, as a quick fight, this Misery Mire instance should be pretty quick as well. Turtle Rock, there's not a whole heck of a lot of difference between go mode and full clear, but if the key layout is going to be kind to us, then Moogle should be able to go ahead and get through quite easily without checking the lava chest or the big chest. Again, that just depends on where the big key is, and if we get that, 8.75% chance of not being screwed over with no keys on Laser Bridge. But we'll find that out here shortly.
Mooglecharm, by the way, going to the vanilla big key chest, so it's going to be a little bit of a time loss there because I believe the big key was just next to the was in the chest next to the big chest.
Yup. Is that the map chest or is that the compass chest?
It's a chest. I don't I don't know. I couldn't tell you when the last time I played this game vanilla was.
Seeing as how we've got a couple of fun different game styles coming up, if anyone is interested, this is actually week 1 of the league races, as you can tell from the giant banner sitting at the bottom of the screen there. We have open mode for this first week, and next week we've got Ambrosia mode, which is basically just standard mode starting with a sword, and then Uncle gives you a boots hint. It's going to be somewhere in the world. But he tells you generally where it's going to be. The last thing is that every boss is guaranteed to have at least one item, so you will never see a dungeon item on a boss. It will be an item. Whether it's good or not is still up to the game, but it makes routing a little bit different. There are plenty of different modes coming up throughout the weeks, so feel free to go ahead and stick around. We will be showcasing a lot of the racers here, so give us a follow, give them a follow, be sure to watch, because it will be entertaining.
Yeah, 64 races a week, and shoutouts to all the crew working behind the scenes to get as many of them restreamed as possible.
Oh yeah, it is not easy trying to get this much stuff orchestrated at the same time. Ooh, and we all know it's bad, but oh, that stinks. It's not even something decent.
How would Nabs have felt if that had been like the mushroom?
Oh
And you're
god.
just like, oh dear, oh dear.
I am for the sake of his sanity, I am so glad it wasn't. Now, here we know Nabs is already full cleared swamp, so we don't have to worry about him going back that way.
This is a Pyramid Fairy play.
Yep, I was gonna say he's got the 5-6 crystals done, so we're gonna see what's in Pyramid. Truthfully, the only thing that he could benefit from this point would be the silvers. So if this happens to be silvers, he's gonna have a little bit easier phase 4 Ganon fight. And speaking of easy fight, here comes the wonderful Misery Mire boss, Vitreous. Take out that cape with butter and you dash. That's all you gotta do. Those eyeballs just...
And even if you choose not to dash, I mean, as long as you're spamming your sword slash with the cape on, it actually doesn't use a whole lot of magic. But 8 arrow shots, just like that. Vidi is down. That is crystal number 5 for mooglecharm.
Ooh,
Oh,
mushroom.
mushroom. Why
Ooh.
do you do this to us?
And Cane of Brine. Not
He's gonna check
necessary,
that.
but...
This
Oh
is
yeah,
gonna
he's
be
gonna
the...
avoid it. Oh no, he's gonna skip pod. Oh no.
I mean, it depends. Let's wait until after this mushroom check to see what the plan is.
I know we're seeing stuff from the past, but I'm gonna use my psychic abilities to send him a message from 10 minutes ago. Go to pod. Go to pod.
Just some arrows.
Disappointing
All right,
mushroom.
moment of
disappointing
truth.
ped.
This will be a flute to 5. If this is a flute to 5 into Dark World, that's good. If not, it's looking like mooglecharm's race to win.
Ah,
It's
no!
not. That's unfortunate. That puts mooglecharm just in command of this race now.
Yeah, because I think Nabs is gonna go immediately over to Death Mountain and check out Turtle Rock after this. Just bank that ice rod's gonna be somewhere up there.
Yep. And I mean, it's not a bad play at all. Like every
no.
runner in this situation would do it, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
That's
So
5 items that you have the possibility of getting up there. So that's much, much better odds than the one that you'd
Plus,
find here.
as a plus, you have Spy Cave also to check. So yeah, don't blame Nabs at all for this play. That's Celeste.
That mummy is just not being nice.
All right, quick Mothula fight here for mooglecharm. See, look, it's
death
already
with
done.
Moth. And fun bit of info, actually. The reason why those spikes don't do any damage to Moth is because early development had the spikes deal gold sword damage. And Moth is immune to gold sword damage for some reason. And because of that, you technically could not defeat Mothula with the gold sword. What our cool developers did for this rando is they went ahead and just for that particular instance, they downgraded the damage that the gold sword does to tempered. So if you try to spin slash with the tempered or spin slash with the gold for whatever reason, it won't do anything, but you can still just do normal slashes and actually damage.
I hope everyone in chat is taking copious notes, as there will be a test on this later.
Yes.
And I believe I saw someone in chat passing notes. I'm going to need you to bring that to the front of the class and read it to everybody. Six crystals now for both runners. I'm just gonna move on. I feel like that just fell flat. So we're just gonna pretend that the last 30 seconds didn't happen.
Whoa, that was weird. I fell into a slight bit of a coma.
Hey, welcome back.
Ah, looks like we got people going up to Death Mountain. That's interesting. Oh yeah. I need that ice rod though. No, this will be interesting too. With the way the items have been set out, I doubt we're gonna have silvers in Turtle Rock. But do you think they might be in Lava Chest or Big Chest or even Mimic Cave?
So why would you think that silvers couldn't possibly be in Turtle Rock?
I wouldn't say they couldn't. I'm just thinking they may not be.
Okay, that's fair. Because I'm like, it's just silvers. I mean, they could be at this point anywhere.
Oh yeah.
Except
It's like
places that we've already checked.
Exactly. But I've seen so many races recently where the game just kind of wants to taunt you and put them somewhere super easy to find in GT, but it's like, hey, I'm gonna put the big key here first, so you're not gonna bother looking further.
Yeah, so Nabs making the unfortunate play into Turtle Rock without the ice rod. You know, if you're just looking at this, you might think, oh, this is still a close race. Unfortunately, though, Nabs skipping the ice rod, gonna learn in about 5 minutes that this play was just not the right one.
Both runners have put on a fantastic show, so definitely be sure to give them a follow.
I bet one thing both owners would like to see is some half magic. Didn't see what was in that chest.
Well, sadly, it wasn't half magic.
Hey, that's true. It was not half magic.
I believe it was actually 2 small keys there, so we got map and
Okay.
2 small keys. If our wonderful big key is not in the glorious chain chomp room, then it's gonna be in the lava chest.
And in that instance, you know, most runners, when you are doing a go mode of Turtle Rock, would like to just steal a key from the pokey right before the vanilla big key chest. But doing it in that situation where you do have a vanilla big key, usually go down and go over to the big chest. And it is, in this situation, going to be a vanilla big key.
Yep. So that'll be interesting too. Does he risk it? See, this is the fun part. If we get the small keys in both the big chest and the crystal roller room, that means there's not going to be another one in Laser Bridge, or on Laser Bridge. Very small chance. But do you risk it?
If I have 2 keys in the big chest and crystal roller room, then no, I'm done.
No, I mean skipping big chest.
Oh, in this situation, you shouldn't skip big chest. Knowing that you've got a vanilla big key, you can't steal this key and hold on to it. It would be... It's much more riskier to do this as opposed to if the big key was anywhere other than its vanilla location.
Moogle, you kind of need that
mooglecharm,
big key.
you're skipping something here.
Well, you guys are going to find out some awesome stuff here in about 30 seconds. There's a great text box that comes up. Oh, never mind, he remembered.
Hey, you remembered.
Yeah, awesome text that pops up. The game says, something's missing. Whenever you try to open up a big key door without the big key.
Sometimes you're just on autopilot when doing this dungeon.
Muscle memory is a heck of a thing. I do kind of like that his stream is lagging just enough that when he enters the pipes, he just teleports.
I mean, that's what Moogles do, right? They just teleport everywhere.
Yeah, they walk on water, they teleport.
Especially Mog from Final Fantasy VI. Like, if you haven't played Final Fantasy VI, play Final Fantasy VI, pick up Mog as a character, and just watch how incredible he is.
Right? It really makes me... Oh, okay, yeah. That's one key. But yeah, I really want to go back and play some Final Fantasy VI again. That was so much fun. Oh, hey, look, it's Silver's.
In Mimikir, I think you almost called that.
I think I did call that, actually.
Alright, I'm gonna continue to slowly step away from you as, you know, the mob to burn the witch comes. Why am I on the other side of this room already?
Alright, so Nabs is going to have a slightly easier Ganon fight. Butter just, of course, negates any issues while fighting, because it's you know, Butter Sword. But instead of having to do spin slashes without have magic, you just basically whack Ganon once and then shoot him. A lot.
Shoot him with arrows. Pew
Of
pew.
course. Now, I'm kind of wondering what would be the best scenario here if Nabs exits Laser Bridge, takes the portal, saves and quits, or no, flutes, goes to 5, finishes Helmasaur.
It's going to be really hard in
Five?
any scenario to save this portal because of the fact that the green pendant is pod. If you try to save your portal, you would have to die in the overworld or saving. No, you can't save and quit. So
No,
you'd
you
have
can't
to
save and quit.
find a way to die in the overworld, and then
Which
get
is
back
doable.
to Sahasrara.
But with red mail and 14 hearts, that's just going to be a pain in the butt.
So mooglecharm heading to Trinex, gonna get their 7th crystal, and we do play a game that deals with some sort of big key and picking numbers. We're gonna start that as soon as mooglecharm finishes Trinex, so get your guesses ready because this is gonna be a quick guess.
Oh yeah, don't do it yet.
It looks like, but not yet. We gotta wait till we start the game. Nabs, by the way, learning that it is not the ice rod in Turtle Rock. Gonna be going checking Spike Cave first.
Oh, rip. Portal. Oh, I mean, he could still die in Spike Rock. Or Spike Cave.
Yeah, that's just a quick death. That's not bad at all.
And wait until he picks up the crystal. Don't do it yet.
Are you gonna start the game?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start it.
Okay.
Wait for it. And go! Good lord, those numbers.
They just fly in. Chat knows. Like, chat is ready for this. Nabs, I'm concerned you don't have enough for this.
Okay, he's got a potion.
Okay. Whew. Whew.
I saw that. I saw that last heart tick over.
But anyways, 22 checks for the Ganon Tower Big Key. Pick a number between 1 and 22. The winner will be rewarded with points from our wonderful Sahasra bot, written by Sinek. I think the first time I tried to merge those two words, it didn't work out. And you get points to just lord over people.
And what's better than bragging rights for your peers?
We should stop the game.
Oh, yeah, I was just waiting.
Good job.
Alright, so first chest is money, second chest is produce. And we're going over to Bob's Torch.
Where is Nabs going?
That's an excellent question.
This could be a graveyard let's check,
Ooh,
which is gonna ruin the portal. I think they saved and quit anyway, so I think their portal is already ruined.
Yeah, so this is just graveyard. Which unfortunately for him can't be anything good. Unless it's the swag net. Can never say no to the swag.
I can. It's actually pretty easy.
You wish. Anyway, number 5 was the map, number 6 was a key, number 7 was a small key. Number 8. Just money.
20 rupees.
Alright, so coming up on number 9. Oh wait, hold on.
Oh, that was number
1,
7.
2, 3. Yeah, that was number 7, sorry. Coming up on number 8 here. I know how to count. I have that wonderful American education.
I'm pretty sure we've already started the counting with Mr. Scrap Ninja 2 to show already.
Yes.
Nabs, by the way, looks like they're headed to pod. I'm not sure if they have anything else at this point, so unfortunately going to be a last location here.
How unfortunate. Alright, now we're getting into number 9. Let's see. Nah, just another heart piece.
I didn't even ask. What number did you pick?
Oh, I didn't pick one, but I always go with 13.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm commentating, man. I gotta let all the people in chat have their fun. Ooh, half magic. And the big key! Alright, so that was number... What was that, number 11? Yeah.
That would be 11.
So good job, John Boy 81918. You are the winner of today's key guessing game. You've got yourself 22 points for the leaderboard and bragging rights.
Be sure to use those bragging rights, because that's really what everyone wants.
Exactly. The points are worthless, but man.
Just stroll up to your friend's place and be like, hey, I got the big key guessing game correct.
And if they respond with, what the heck is the big key guessing game? It doesn't matter, because you got it.
How many Stanley nickels are those points worth? 6.
That's a lot of Stanley nickels.
Is it? I mean, how many like how many Shroot bucks is a Stanley nickel?
I honestly have no clue. I'm gonna say 3. Conversion rate's not that good.
Off week for Wall Street, man.
It's that dang coronavirus, dude. It's hurting everybody. Speaking of hurting, all these poor dudes in the gauntlet of GT just minding their own business, and they got this little Moogle coming up and murdering everything.
I mean, I gotta say, like, this was a really unique way for the developers. Like, you know, all the dungeons have like their own theme, and then you get to Ganon Tower and specifically the Gauntlet, and the developers are like, okay, what random stuff can we just put in a mishmash of rooms? It's like, oh, let's put Beamos on, you know, moving platforms. Let's put a bunch of ice in the area. So nicely done by the developers of this game to make a really weird gauntlet. Nabs, by the way, did finish off Hamlet Arcane, getting their green pendant. Going to be a little too late, though, to pick up that ice rod.
And the only thing I have to ask is, developers, who hurt you? Oh, and I love these wizard rooms. Except when they do that. I hate when that happens. You place the block in the right spot and it just barely misses.
Nab's not happy that Sahasrahla gave up the ice rod. Tried to cut down Sahasrahla. Unfortunately, Sahasrahla is an immortal being and just is unaffected by your butter sword.
I thought he was cheating with no clip. Is that what it is?
I've just always assumed he's immortal.
I mean, that's fair. He's traversed time through all the games.
I'm pretty sure he's the one that talks to you through those telepathic hint tiles.
Maybe he's the true one behind the hood, and he's the master. Master of masters. Gonna, like, break the logic there and go into a different game franchise.
I mean, he does wear a cowboy hat, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's hiding somewhere underneath that.
And there's our refill, so Moogle is ready to fight the second Moldorm. With Butter again, it's super easy. You dash, you slash, you dash again, and bam. Ooh, just don't fall. Don't fall, Moogle. There you go. Ah, and stealing the poor orphaned Moldorm's money. There's no need to be rude, mooglecharm. Come on. You've killed Mama Dorm and Daddy Dorm, and, oh, you know, technically all the dorms, so it's alright. They're all dead.
I was gonna say, like, you know, Moldorm 2 doesn't need it anymore.
That's true. There's no orphans to leave because they killed those two, so. Sigh.
On to Agatu for mooglecharm. 6 hits. Unfortunately, Aga doesn't like to be very cooperative with these geometry patterns, and occasionally will throw you a blue ball, so these have not been good patterns for mooglecharm.
No. It's been super rude.
And then it's like, hey, here's a blue ball for good measure, too.
There we go. Alright. Taking it down, so now he just has to go ahead and fly over with a magic bird who can miraculously transport between realms. And through solid objects, too. Because I don't think that was the open sky.
It's not solid. I've definitely glitched my way out of that arena a couple of times.
Ah, okay, so the bird is just one of the runners. I got it.
The bird is just an OWG player.
Props to the bird, man. It's hard playing with feathers.
On to Ganon.
Digits.
6 gold sword slashes for the first 2 phases. Very, very quick.
Yeah, if you sneezed, you may have missed it.
But without silvers, we'll be doing a silverless fight, so it'll be 12 spins to take down Ganon in Phase 4. Nabs, by the way, heading over to Trinex to finish off and get their 7th crystal before heading up to Turtle Rock, or Ganon's Tower. There you go. Got the torch glitch.
And just a few more slashes.
7 crystals for Nabs. So we play a game that we do with the Ganon's Tower. Oh no, we've already done that.
Yeah, can't do that again, unfortunately. I mean, you guys can in your heads, it just won't amount to anything.
What if Nabs takes a different route?
That's true, that's true. If he goes immediately left, then that would be 9. Quick, get your guesses in. Coming down to the final shots. Don't fall. Don't fall. You can do it, Moogle. Okay, this seems like more than 12. I know it's not, but...
Say Moogle had a little bit of issue, but gets that 12th hit, takes down Ganon. Get your GGs in chat for mooglecharm. All he's got to do now is just cross the little bridge, and we'll be the winner, and give Double Dippers, I believe, a 2-0 week.
So yeah, slap those GGs in chat. He has finished. mooglecharm is number 1 in the race at an SRL time of 1:50:45.
GG's, an admirable time considering what the seed gave us at the start.
Oh, most definitely. Aside from just ignoring Thieves Town, this was pretty much a dip desert, complete pod, and then run all willy-nilly all over the world.
See about getting mooglecharm in here for an interview.
Yep. Meanwhile, Nabs is going to go ahead and go left here and find that big key fairly shortly.
And we are joined by mooglecharm. GG's, congratulations.
Hey, thank you.
So this was quite the seed. I mean, it started really slowly, 45 minutes before you got your first crystal, but you made a very bold decision to actually finish pod. Kind of talk us through like why you thought, doing green pendant pod was the play there.
Well, yeah, it was. I felt kind of pot committed to doing pendants, because I kind of like last location the hammer, if I remember, or pretty close to it. And then I remember when I sequence broke Death Mountain and found a lamp up there, I was like, okay, so I know that the flute needs to be, in just a few locations after I got in the mirror. And I had to go finish Eastern anyway, and I was trying to figure out what to do next. And I figured, well, I'm going to go knock out Pod and Eastern, because I know there's 2 checks there. It gets me another pendant just in case there's something on pedestal. And when I got the ice rod, I felt pretty good. But I felt so behind before that, and I was kind of just hoping for something to happen.
Yeah, it ended up being a really smart play on your part. And then, some of the other unfortunate parts of this seed was that you know, you had to go into desert to get that mirror, which you know seemed to be rough considering you weren't going there without a fire source. And overall, like I said, the beginning was just not the best given the lack of items and lack of progression, really.
Yeah, it was like I think my choices were to go into ice because I had bombos at the time. I think I could have gotten like maybe one chest if I remember. It was that desert, which was fire locked. Go back and do the purple chest. Maybe there was one other one, but it was slim pickings for a while there. And when I knew that I had the flute left in just a couple spots, I don't know, just something told me to try pod, given how the seed was playing out. Like it was making me run all over the place, you know, and then dipping desert to get a mirror. I didn't find anything in Thieves Town. It was just I couldn't clear any crystals, you know. It was just such an odd choice, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean, after you picked up the hammer, you actually, I think, went back straight over to Hammer Pegs, and then also checked the big chest in Thieves Town, which unfortunately neither of those plays worked out. But I mean, it just showed you that even once you had the hammer, it didn't seem like you still had a whole lot of options because, you know, the hook shot was locking so much, and the rest of the items at that point were just not in good locations.
Yeah, it was the hook shot, the lamp, the flute. Like Death Mountain wasn't logically accessible. Um, yeah, it was. Yeah, there were only a few checks left, and I felt like I should, you know, kind of just like clear as much as I could and not skip checks. And I know that seems kind of odd because I didn't go left side swamp. But when I found the bow in there, I I felt like it was like that kind of pulled me towards pot as well a little bit.
Which makes sense because at that point, you know, I think bow and powder were in there, and that was the only things in Swamp Palace. So, you know, you're thinking to yourself, okay, why do I have this bow? Oh, for Palace of Darkness and Eastern Palace. So, I mean, overall, you know, really well run race by you. And again, GG's on the win.
Thanks. Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited. You know, we won yesterday. My teammate beat Swerve Edo. Give him a shout out, and then you know, getting the win today is real nice.
Yeah, so a 2-0 week one, putting yourselves in a really nice position.
Yeah, it feels good. I'm not gonna lie.
Do you know yet if how you guys plan on handling week two? Have you guys picked out who you're gonna have run the Ambrosia?
Not sure if it's gonna be between me and Edo, but our other teammate Swagalicious will be going for sure since he skipped out on week one. Not sure on whether it's gonna be me or Eddie yet.
Well, that's good. I mean, good luck to them, and good luck to you guys as well. Meanwhile, Nabs, by the way, finishing up Moldorm 2, going to be heading over to the Aga 2 fight, which, if it's... I mean, Aga 2 for you was just rude. So many bad, just like, awful patterns.
It was weird. Like, I felt like I got a triple on the first one, and it turned out I think it was a double. But then, yeah, after that, like, the patterns were just not fun. It was like Nab's last location to Ice Rod.
Yeah, unfortunately. Got their flutes. Kind of followed logic a little bit more in terms of, you know, didn't want to dip into Palace of Darkness. You know, the flute, of course, led to the Mire area, which gave you the medallion needed for Quake plus the Fire Rod. At that point, you know, you can't fault him for not going into pod and getting the one check. But that's Aga 2 down for Nabs. On to the Ganon fight.
Thankfully, he did find silver, so this should be a bit quicker with that flood phase.
I saw silvers were on pedestal.
No, they were in Mimic Cave.
Oh, it said vampire skewers. Okay, maybe I was mistaken. All right.
Those are just arrows.
Yeah.
Which is part of a bow. So you were kind of right there.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
And to appease some of our chat masses here, there's a petition now that you need to go ahead and talk to your teammates and see about changing the name to the Triple Dippers. Ooh, Nabs has got to be super careful with that. Down at half a heart.
The half magic and cape though, coming in clutch, should be in the clear. Obviously, can't take any hit, but with silvers, this should still be a pretty quick fight. Chat also pointing out you got a sub 3 menu time, which in this seed, really good.
Oh yeah, major props to that, dude. I'm still stressing myself out trying to get lower than 3 minutes.
Oh, thank you. I feel like I played terribly though. I had a million bonks, I think, and I was getting nervous because I felt behind. I feel like I made a lot of mistakes though. For that ice ride, I guess.
Yeah, and in the end, I mean, it led you to victory.
Yeah.
And with that, Nabs takes down Gannon. Get your GGs in chat for Nabs, who ran a really good race as well. Just, you know, rando gonna rando, especially when it comes to the ice rod.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's a song about it, for Pete's sake. But slap them GGs in chat. We've got Nabs finishing with an official SRL time of 2 hours and 3 seconds.
GGs, and GGs to both our runners for sure. Let's see if we can't get Nabs in here with us. And welcome Nabs, GGs. I feel like I can tell you're trying to talk, but I can't hear you. I don't know if anyone else can.
Nah, I think something might be up with his audio or mic, something.
All right, well, hopefully get those fixed and be able to talk to Nab.
That's right. I'll do some lip reading, saying GG everybody. It was a great race. The ice rod is terrible.
Hello.
Hey, there he is.
Hey, GGs.
GG's.
Yeah, the ice rod, unfortunately, being more rude to you than it was to mooglecharm.
Yeah, it's just I didn't want to go back to pod at any point, so I gambled on Spike Cave and Turtle Rock having ice rod. That's just how it goes.
So yeah, and I mean that's a perfectly logical gamble. I mean, you know, you get the flutes from Magic Bat, you go up to the Mire area, get your Fire Rod, get your medallion to get into Turtle Rock, and at that point, you know, you have what, 5 items potentially in Turtle Rock, Mimic Cave and Spike Cave, so 7 items to 2. You know, just unfortunate that it didn't fall your way this time.
Oh, that's just rando.
Exactly.
But you made some other good plays because I'm pretty sure you got the hammer first, and you got the hook shot immediately afterwards. So, kind of talk us through, like, you know, the seed started off bad, and then all of a sudden here's a bunch of things.
So I completely forgot to turn in Blacksmith the first time I went through, and just remembered it as I was going back down to do Mirrored. And then at that point, I was basically like, well, I might as well just do the entire Smith chain. And it paid off very, very well. And then just once that all opened up, I basically decided I'm just going to start by going up to like the top of Death Mountain, checking, because I had access to both like Dark Death Mountain and like East Death Mountain and everything. So I figured I might as well check everything there, see what's needed to get into Turtle Rock, and then after that I'd start diving dungeons. And then the other thing that paid off by doing that is I realized I had logical access to the lamp somewhere, because, or to to the flute somewhere because the lamp was on East Death Mountain, I want to say.
Yep, so logically locked behind the flute.
But that was essentially my game plan.
And I think with almost any other seed, it would have worked out in your favor too.
Oh well.
That's all right. You guys are still gonna be kicking booty.
Yeah, and I mean, this is, just because it didn't quite go CLW's way, and that is how you pronounce it, right? Like, I'm not just missing something.
Yes.
Okay.
It's just CW.
And even though it didn't go your way here in week 1, you still have, plenty of chance to, get your guys selves established, get your first win coming up here in Ambrosia. Have you guys thought about or considered who you guys are going to put out there for Ambrosia?
Not yet.
Fair enough. Well, that's all on my end. Mr. Scruff Ninja Jin, do you have any other questions?
Oh no, you covered everything. I was gonna goof around for a little bit, but I'm far too tired to keep it PG, so I'm cool.
Fair enough. Well, mooglecharm, Nabs, GG's to both of you. Congrats on a really good race, really close race for 90% of it. So GG's to both of you. And for those of you in chat, I would urge you guys to follow both these guys. They put on quite a show for such a rude seed. So they definitely deserve your follows. As does our tracker Lumaga and my co-commentator Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna, also deserving your follows. And if you haven't already, there is Speed Gaming 1 through 5, as well as ALTTPR League, and I believe that also goes through 5. With 7 weeks worth of races, 64 races a week, we're doing as much restreaming as possible. There is a lot of rando to be had over these next not quite 2 months. So really, really good time to be a fan of Link to the Past Randomizer. And I believe with that, my name is Walkix. I believe we are going to... Oh yeah, Speed Gaming 6. I apologize. There's so many Speed Gaming channels, I can't keep track of them all. Speed Gaming 6. But yeah, with that, I believe we are going to sign off. Thank you again, everyone, and have a good rest of your evening/morning.
And be on the lookout for our upcoming channel of Speed Gaming Infinite. Not really, but have a good night, everybody.